This is a beautiful story with profound meanings, recounted by Ahmad ibn Miskin, one of the great Tabi'un, followers of the companions of the Prophet. In the town, there was a man named Abu Nasr, the fisherman, who lived with his wife and son in extreme poverty. One day, as he walked down the road, burdened and distressed because his wife and son were crying from hunger, he passed by a Muslim scholar named Ahmad ibn Miskin and said to him, "I am exhausted." After attentively listening to Abu Nasr's complaints, the scholar responded with a simple but unexpected request, "Follow me to the sea," and Abu Nasr obliged. When they had approached the beach near the shore, the scholar told him to pray 2 rak'ahs. The man did as he was told and prayed. When he finished, the scholar directed him to fish, but before doing so, the scholar advised him to say the beautiful phrase, "In the name of Allah, Bismillah." Though fishing for the day was already done this time of the day, Abu Nasr followed his advice, borrowing a net that was left out to be ready for the next day's catch. And so, he cast the net in the name of God, and almost immediately and unexpectedly, he caught a fish. A large fish. The scholar told him, "Sell it and buy food for your family." So, he went and sold it in the market and bought 2 pies, one with meat and the other with sweets. He decided to go and feed the scholar some of it. He went to the scholar and gave him 1 pie. The scholar said to him, "If we fed ourselves this, the fish would not have come out." Meaning, the scholar did good for the sake of good itself, without expecting anything in return. He returned the pie to the man and said, "Take it for you and your family." Happily carrying the unexpected pies home, the fisherman ran across a woman holding her child and crying from hunger. As he got closer to them, they saw the pose and longingly stared. Heartbroken Abu Nasr thought to himself, "This woman and her son are starving like my wife and son. What should I do?" Looking at her eyes, Abu Nasr couldn't bear to see her tears. He said to her, "Take these pies." As he handed her what would have been his family's dinner, the faces of both the woman and her son lit up with joy at the gracious offering. It was a bittersweet moment for Abu Nasr, whose heart was heavy again as he wondered how he would feed his family now. He looked into the woman's eyes and couldn't bear to see the tears. He said to her, "Take the pies." Her face lit up and her child smiled with joy. Abu Nasr then walked home with a heavy heart, wondering how he would feed his wife and son. As Abu Nasr walked, contemplating what he needed to do next, his thoughts were interrupted by a man he had never met who was searching for him. "Who can direct me to Abu Nasr the fisherman?" As the people pointed him in Abu Nasr's direction, Abu Nasr came closer. When they had reached each other, the man greeted Abu Nasr and began to speak. "Your father lent me money 20 years ago. I couldn't return his money when I heard he had passed away. Here, take this 30,000 dirhams. This is your father's money." Abu Nasr, the fisherman, said, "I became one of the richest people. I had houses and businesses, and I started giving charity, 1,000 dirhams at a time, to thank Allah. Days passed, and I increased my charities until I became impressed with myself. One night, I saw in a dream that the scale was set, and a caller called Abu Nasr, the fisherman, come to weigh your good deeds and your sins. My good deeds were placed, and my sins were placed, and the sins outweighed the good deeds. I said, where is the money I gave in charity? The money was placed, but under each 1,000 dirhams was a selfish desire or self-admiration, like a cotton wrap worth nothing, and the sins outweighed the good deeds. I cried and said, what is the way to salvation? I heard a caller say, does he have anything left? The angel said, yes, he has 2 pies left. The pies were placed on the scale of good deeds, and the scale tipped until it balanced with the sins. I was terrified and heard the caller say, "Does he have anything left?" The angel said, "Yes, he has something left." I said, "What is it?" It was said, "The tears of the woman when he gave her the 2 pies." The tears were placed, and they were like a stone, weighing down the scale of good deeds, and the scale tipped in favor of the good deeds. I rejoiced, and heard the caller say, "Does he have anything left?" It was said, "Yes, the smile of the little child when he gave him the 2 pies." The scale tipped and tipped and tipped in favor of the good deeds. I heard the caller say, "He has been saved. He has been saved." I woke up from my sleep, terrified, saying, "If we fed ourselves this, the fish would not have come out."